Hi.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as To The Liz For You, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry and posting as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And I have posted a couple times.
Mm-hmm. You
in the
posted
last
a
week.
bunch with progress of what you're wearing.
Yes, I have.
So Mom has a very amazing finished object.
I do. Shall we leap right into this?
Leap right in.
Okay. This is my wraparound dress. I'm going to hold the back shut just so that when I twirl it doesn't unwrap.
It's the new Charm Patterns by Gertie Alice Apron? Apron.
It's the apron dress.
Artist's apron.
Artist's apron. And the jacket is from this vintage Vogue pattern.
Oh.
So that is Vogue 2414, an original 1950s design, as am I. So when I saw this dress, I said, it needs a jacket.
No, the first thing you said was, Elizabeth, how do we get those? You wanted to show me how to get those patterns printed. Wait, how do I do that? Wait, can you do that?
Yeah, I have no idea how to get these.
She immediately, like within 2 days, wanted the pattern printed, which is the fastest I have ever seen her ask for a pattern to be printed.
You have no idea what I do with the sewing patterns from Sewing Genius, or whatever her name is, online that I belong to. I also request those patterns that I buy actually printed also.
Wow.
And I don't think they read their emails quite well because I always tell them what size I want, and then they're always calling me, what size did you want? Anyway. Basting thread. I finished the dress yesterday afternoon and wore it yesterday afternoon.
Yay!
The dress has to hang for 24 hours. Because it is, well, mine is a modified skirt. I did not make the full circle skirt that the pattern called for because I wanted the jacket. And so anyway, when I saw the dress, I decided that mine needed a jacket. I was going to wear it to 2 events, one being our boat club's
commissioning.
Commissioning, thank you.
You're welcome.
I was going to say opening, but commissioning. And many times, it's out on the porch, and we're freezing to death, and, all trying to figure out how do we stay inside and yet attend the commissioning. This time, if you're anywhere close to Long Island, you know that it was warm, quite warm, but my jacket actually came in handy because the breeze was chill.
Mm-hmm.
And for this commissioning, we had quite a chill breeze. So my jacket I wore the entire time out on the porch. And I had brought a hat, which I found I didn't need because the sun never reached me under the canopy. But I was
better to have it than not.
I was complimented on my dress, my jacket, and the hat, so that was good. And the commissioning went well. Boat update. We have a closing on the boat in Annapolis on or before June 2nd. So anytime they finish with their paperwork, we can then send them the rest of the money and we'll own a boat. And I'm really very excited about it. Every boat we've owned has been an improvement. The first boat we had was 24 feet, had no windows, and we were cooking over camp stove, a 1-burner thing. It was tiny. I could not stand up inside the boat and get dressed. I had to put my top on, then open the hatch and stand up and get the bottoms on. I mean, it really was camping. Pup tent camping. We then got a J35, which meant I could stand up in the boat. Richard could not, except going right down the center of the boat. We had showers on this boat, cold showers, but at least there were showers. We had a stove and an oven, which my husband promptly stripped the boat of.
New rule. Not allowed to do that.
No, they weren't allowed to do that with the Jeannot. Anyway, and they went racing on that boat. So that boat had room. We had Elizabeth from the time she was 6 months old till she was 7, and we sold the boat, going sailing with us on that boat. It was wonderful for kids because she slept so well on that boat.
I still sleep so well on a boat.
But it was cold showers, so we would often look for yacht clubs and marinas to stay on their morning so that we could go ashore and have hot showers. So that was a big deal. Our third boat had its own hot showers. Whoa! And it never got stripped for racing. That was my new rule. This was a boat for us, not for the boys. This fourth boat has a refrigerator. Yes!
Not just an icebox.
Not just an icebox. This has a 2-drawer refrigerator / freezer. So I can either use one drawer as a refrigerator and one drawer as a freezer, or both drawers as refrigerators. And I am so excited. It does have hot showers. In fact, it has 2 separate hot shower stalls so that neither of the 2 bathrooms should get wet once you've taken a shower. And they've got automatic drains too,
nice.
If I vaguely remember. I think they drain immediately into the bilge, and then the bilge pumps take over. So it's even better than many of the boats we've chartered.
That you don't have to wait for the bilge.
Well, no, because when you're in those showers with the bigger boats that we've chartered, you had to push a button to have them drain, like on the Jeanneau.
Mm-hmm.
This draining right into the bilge, there's an automatic bilge pump, and so it automatically drains. So we're really excited about having the 2 dry bathrooms. I have refrigerators, and this one has the promise of air conditioning and heat. My husband is very big on telling me it's not going to be that much heat because, we tried it out when it was 60 degrees, and yes, there was heat pouring out of it, but at 60 degrees you'd expect it, whatever. It was really warm. We didn't try the air conditioning because it was 60 degrees. We didn't need air conditioning. So somewhere on or before June 2nd, we'll own the boat. Then on June 6th, the boat is being hauled, and we will go down to supervise the hauling of the boat and get its bottom painted and new zincs put on the prop shafts. You put zinc on the prop shafts, so if there's any stray electricity in the water, it won't attack important things like propellers. Instead, it will go after the zinc. So the zinc is a sacrificial metal that you put underwater on a boat so that it does not allow stray electricity to attack the important parts of your boat. And there can be stray electricity from your own boat, could be stray electricity from other boats. It can attack you at any marina, dock, pier, etc. from other boats. So zincs are always important. You should check the zincs on your boat every year. And so that's that story. My mom seems to be doing just fine. She's called me several times this week, so obviously the regular meals and the regular medication seems to be increasing her blood flow to the brain. So she's able to think a little bit more clearly and is able to do a few more things. So Mom is doing pretty good. We did not go see her over Mother's Day, as I explained. I had literally just gotten over a cold. My brother said, please don't be a typhoid Mary, and I agreed with him. When you're right, you're right. I don't need to be bringing some stray germs I'm still shedding into a nursing home, whereas I may feel fine, and I know it wasn't COVID because I was tested at the health facility. I don't need to bring any stray viruses anyway, but Mom seems to be fine. We'd be thrilled if I moved down and lived next to her, but that's not going to happen. So we plan to get the boat in Annapolis, stay down there for about 3 days, and then start bringing the boat home. And we want to make it as quick as possible because we'd like to get up to Newport by the 4th of July and then up to Maine.
So you wouldn't come back to Connecticut? Oh, okay.
We'll deal with it once we get the boat. I mean, Our vague idea is to go to Newport, from Newport then up to at least the bottom part of Maine, and then come back down again. So that's the news, and obviously this is what I've been working on most of the week. This was a border print. So there was a double border print. A double border print. So there was a light border at the top, and then a much deeper border at the bottom. And I cut the dress to try to take advantage of where the placement of the borders were. I specifically used the front of the jacket as the pale beige because I had so much flowers on the front of my dress. I wanted the jacket to stand out a bit. And by keeping it beige in the front, it allowed that. But my back is the full panoply
I love
of
it.
the flowers. Someone I met at the club on Saturday said he felt like he was going to the Kentucky Derby.
Lovely.
I thought that was very nice because I had all these flowers and then I had my straw hat on.
Very nice.
For the sun, so that was very nice. What would you like to talk about? First of all, tell everybody how you feel.
I
told them last week you were ill.
Yes. So, health update. I contracted COVID. I am now 2 weeks out.
Mm-hmm. And 2 days.
And 2 days out from a negative test. That is why you're seeing me here next to Mom. We have also confirmed with multiple health professionals that I am not contagious. I was not contagious for the last week. Right. You're not contagious for a week after, until, you're not contagious after the first week. We, in an abundance of caution, and in an abundance of caution.
Absolutely. I want to be able to go get this boat.
I know. Kept away. So, I had stuffiness, cold symptoms. Sorry, y'all. Had that. Exhaustion. I had severe exhaustion. I still have energy level issues. Some body aches, which are...
Your cough was horrendous.
My cough was really bad. I was very stuffy for the first week, and I was put on steroids, and that helped, but then that made the cough worse. I still cough when speaking a lot, so... but as you can tell, it's not productive anymore. It was extremely productive at the beginning. And it sucked. I got exposed at work, unfortunately. So, I've been masking, I've been doing everything, but I thought I was okay at work, and a new coworker came and brought it in, and got 2 of us sick. So that was fun.
Not good.
But I'm feeling a lot better. I am having still a lot of energy issues. As I yawn on camera.
Get me yawning.
So yesterday was the church auction, which I ran. I was able to run it remotely, with my co-chair being in person and running the dinner portion of it, and I ran the online silent auction portion of it. And I was able to set up a Zoom with our priest having her computer there, so I could do in-person tech support. I also gave out my phone number and did some calls as tech support. All in all, we made a good amount of money. And apparently the event was a lot of fun to be at in person.
It was. The dinner was great. Her co-chairperson's husband is a Culinary Institute of America chef, and everything he made, except for the cake, we could eat. So he took allergies into consideration. He had pasta with sausage. He had pasta without sausage. He had chicken piccata that was made with olive oil, not butter.
Really?
Yes, so everything. I could eat everything. So it was absolutely scrumptious. So it was nice to be with people again.
This was our first event at the church that was unmasked and more of a dinner and social event portion to it. All of our previous events have been masked or mask. This was mask optional.
And some people do wear their masks. I did not, but your father and I were at the end of a table. Mm-hmm. So it was only your father and I that were actually right next to each other.
Well, and that's if I went early yesterday morning, which is part of the reason why I'm so exhausted today, and I actually went and set up the tables.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were set up well. I thought that if I
There
set
was
them
good
up
distance.
well, there was good distance, and I figured I put two 8-foot tables together.
Yes.
So that, because
scrunched.
originally it was just going to be one 8-foot table per where I was going to lay it out. But I decided, given the fact that the risk level has been increased again for New York, that I would make it a little bit larger and I would spread everything out a little bit more, because then people would still feel comfortable while sitting there.
So there was greater spacing than even, across the tables because of the width of two tables, which was nice. And then I said, Richard and I sat together at one end.
Okay.
So we didn't have anybody right next to us. So that was nice. I bid on a bunch of different things because I wanted to open the bidding, and the bidding was opened on Friday afternoon for everybody, but I got in the first bids on several items just to engender some interest and actually started a bidding war with a couple people.
You did.
Just
including our priest, though.
Yeah.
But that was on the one thing you really wanted.
That was the one thing I really wanted, and I won because I set up automatic bidding on the whole thing, and I don't feel bad. She won several other things.
I know.
Including the shawl that I made.
Yes.
So there were a couple people bidding on that, and she had the last bid, so that was excellent. So I made the first bid on my shawl because I figured if it didn't go, at least I'd take it home and the church would get $50. But she had the winning bid on that, so she has the shawl. I think people were actually very impressed when they saw the shawl in person. So that made me feel good. I
overheard, so because I was on the Zoom, I could hear some of the conversations that were happening, but I couldn't see them until people came over to talk to me, which was very funny. I did send a few text messages to people who were there, being like, hey, what was that said? And everyone was like, oh, right, you can hear us. Someone was saying, oh, the shawl, it's so beautiful, and has anyone bid on it? And you were like, yes, I have. And they went, you bid on your own shawl? And Mom goes, well, it's gorgeous, so why wouldn't I?
That's right.
I started laughing so hard on the other side of the screen, and I knew you weren't checking your phone as regularly, so I didn't text you, but I almost did, because you were just, the way you said it and the way that it came through was very much like, it's gorgeous, and you know what? If no one else wants it, I'll take it home.
That's right. Absolutely.
So it was...
But I was speaking to one of the women at the quilt table, and I said, honestly, I like doing texture. Note the shawl. My daughter likes doing color work. Mm-hmm. And she would say, well, those are the two different pieces, really, of quilting. The coloring, deciding on the coloring and the pattern and all of that, and then the putting it together as the texture. So... Anyway, we had a lot of really good conversations. What Richard couldn't believe is 3 of the men came up and kissed me. Not on my lips, thank God. But I'm always surprised at...
how excited everyone is to see you?
Yes. Really. I was in shock.
I mean, I was shocked. A lot of people came up to talk once
to you.
It was announced that, like, what was going on, why there was a computer up, on the stage at the front. Because I could, full explanation. You'll also, one of the things with COVID is also they talk about brain fog. For me, it's not as much of a fog as a, jumping from topic to topic even faster than normal.
Oh, jeez.
I know, it's super not fun. So, rewind back to beginning of the day. I had moved all the tables. I had let my co-chair in. We had confirmed. I had said, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna, work from home. I'm gonna essentially work it from home because I don't want to possibly infect anyone, and my energy levels, I don't know. This is probably going to be as much as I can do because I cleared the entire room of all of the stuff from the people who use the room during the week. And then I, moved all of the chairs and I moved all of the tables. So I had a few questions, and I sent some of the questions to one of our wardens. who happens to live a few blocks away from the church, and had already confirmed that she was going to be there. So I sent her a few questions. She didn't respond until later in the day. But then I had texted our priest, and I was like, hey, well, she had asked me a few questions before, saying, like, just confirming the time, because she and her mother were coming, and a few other things, and I had said, hey, can you set up the computer, because she had brought up that idea, actually, to me on Friday, and I was like, let's see how this goes, let's see how we feel about it, how the first 24 hours of it goes, because I opened it on Friday, the online silent auction. And so I was texting with her, and I was asking her to, like, just check in on a few things, and then I had deputized the warden once our warden had responded back to me, and actually our warden was so funny. For a few of the questions, she was like, you know what? Do whatever you want to do. I'll take any heat that comes from it from other people, just whatever. It was about chair usage. We have other people in the parish hall who have paid for fancier chairs. So sometimes we're not allowed to use them. And I was just confirming that. And she was like, honestly, I don't know what it is. So just use whatever chairs we have there. And I was like, okay. And she goes, and if we get in trouble, I will take it. I was like, cool. And then I had asked her to make sure that we did the quilt.
Right.
And it was very sweet and then I had asked you to bring over the sign, yes, and to just make sure that, you know, a few things were set up, and just to check in on a few things.
Did that.
So there were 3 people there who were kind of being my in-person proxies, which was really appreciated. But it was just very funny when it was announced that I was there and I was on the computer. Almost everyone came up to me and at least said
to say
hello
hi on the computer.
and to ask me how I was feeling, because it had been announced that the reason I wasn't there was because of COVID. And so it was really lovely. And it was really sweet. Just everyone, being so excited.
We're a church that we like each other.
Yeah.
Really, basically. We may not agree with each other on everything. In fact, I don't think you'll find a church that hangs together like that. But we enjoy each other's company.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fellow who always likes to pick an argument with me almost every time, I enjoy his company. It's a light-hearted banter. And then at the Vogue Club, this older gentleman beelined over to me and said, you know, I'm getting tired of standing up. Can I come sit next to you and chat with you? I said, of course. And next thing I know, we had a group of 6 chairs.
Nice.
We were out on the porch, remember? So I think we were pretty safe with a stiff breeze blowing. So that was nice. So I'm always kind of amazed that people seem to enjoy our company as much as they seem to. I mean, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
But I'm mystified. I think that's the word. I'm mystified by it. So anyway, why don't you talk about what you're working on?
So I'm working on a lot of things. But let's see what I finished this week. I finished the baby blanket.
That is gorgeous.
It was supposed to be gifted last week, but with being infected, I have not. I will probably wash it I was going to wash it this week, didn't happen. I will wash it either next week or the week after. And then I will mail it off with some books to the recipient.
Would you let, not Colin, what's his book? That you were ill?
Yes, I did. I texted, so I had a wedding to go to also last weekend and obviously canceled. But I texted the groom, who's the person I know. I texted the groom, I texted his sister, and I texted his mom. All within 2 minutes of each other. And his mom responded, oh yes, he already told me. To which I'm like, y'all, I literally only sent that text 2 minutes ago.
But they're close.
They're close. It was just very sweet. Because I was like, y'all.
And we were invited also, but I had decided that we would not go because we didn't know the timing on the boat. And it just as easily could have been the weekend that we had to be there for the boat survey. So,
yeah.
So, you know, it was a good decision, I think, on everybody's part, whatever it was that we did.
Yeah. So the other thing I did was because I was working from home all last week, I thought maybe I could whip out a baby blanket and put that up for the auction and actually just auction that instead of what I ended up promising, which was the promise of a baby blanket for whoever won it in colors to be determined in a 5-week turnaround time from the agreed upon date and time and all that. So I had started, so I found my little starting point in DK swatch, let's call it.
Okay.
I was like, I was going to make that into a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
So I found not the same colors, but similar enough.
Yes.
They're in the same family. So I made the other triangle. And then I started to connect them on one side. So currently I'm in the middle of the twisted rib section, and it is going slowly because twisted rib.
Yes.
But I am very excited because you know what? I think it'll be a lovely blanket. It'll go to someone.
Yes.
Eventually. And now I know that I can use this pattern if you all haven't noticed, I really enjoy turning shawl patterns into blankets for some reason. But now I know that I can do that. And it is a pretty easy conversion. So yeah, it's a hodgepodge of yarns that were available to me in my apartment in the colors that sort of coordinated with that first, swatch test that I did years ago. So I worked on that.
Okay.
What have you been working on? I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. So
let me back up. I was working on my angel. There were a bunch of loose threads up here, so either I finished off those threads that were up here, or I finished them here and then went down here. And what I have done is I have gridded the whole thing, as I think I showed you last week. And then I went down to the bottom, and I am working on basically a third of this at the moment. So I have letters going across the bottom. My center is here, right there. That is my center line right there. And so I have A through M coming out this way, and A through M coming out this way, and then I counted down 1, I think I went down, yes, 1 down to 14 here, and I have 1 up to 14 here. So I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the bottom, and I'm going to build up going this way, because what I found once I gridded is my counts are off up here, because I did this without gridding, and I'm off by 1 or 2 spaces. So I want to build up from the bottom and then get to here, and
I'll
just
fudge it.
Yeah, make allowances. But so I have been working, as you see, on the bottom of her dress, which she's walking, I think, and kicking up the various petticoats. And so there's a red petticoat, and then there's blue, and then part of her dress is going to be green. It's very much a Christmas angel. So I have been working on this. I have no desire at this moment to do any knitting. That shawl that I worked on pretty continuously for 4 months has drained every last desire for knitting out of me. I think that when we go down to Annapolis to pick up the boat, I will probably bring 1 or 2 of my knitting projects with me. And I'll bring this because I don't know how steady the boat is going to be, or how rocky it's going to be, and I know I can knit while I'm at the helm, so that's not a problem. Speaking of which, I'm going to call Sailrite tomorrow to order the materials for making a helm seat.
Oh.
Yes. There is no helm seat for making a helm seat cushion. There is no helm seat cushion presently on the boat. So I will order those materials. So it's water draining foam. There's a non-skid bottom, and then there's obviously the Sunbrella for the top and the sides. And so I have the dimensions, and I'm going to call down there and have someone help me figure out exactly how much I need of what in order to make it. I think I'll need a separating zipper. I'm going to need a little extra sunbrella because I also want to make 2 tabs coming out from the bottom to go under the seat and attach with Velcro to one to the other to really keep it securely on the seat. And then I'll need to... I'm not going to order a separating zipper for the front window. The fellow has also lost the front window. So I'll have to make a new front window, and basically there's 2 channels for bolt ropes to go through, one at the top and one at the bottom. So I just need to measure that and then go buy the cotton bolt rope. And then Richard has canvas, and then I'll have to buy the see-through plastic. So it would be a belt rope, so you have the canvas go around that and you stitch that along, and then you have the canvas come down, you put the plastic in the middle, then you have canvas, and then you have the zipper, a separating zipper, and then canvas and bolt, the next bolt rope. This allows you then to roll up the front window. I need to then also make 2 sets of tabs with Velcro, so that then you can roll up the window and then Velcro it up. But that's to be made out of canvas. I'm taking my featherweight that I converted into a hand crank, and I'll be able to do that on the boat once I get all my materials. So, you know, Richard said we're going to hang around for about 3 days just to kind of test out different systems on the boat, make sure we understand everything. So we really shouldn't be that tired those couple nights. I should be able to make the window pretty quickly. That's my plan.
That's your plan?
Yes. The featherweight will sew through 6 layers of canvas.
Alrighty then.
Already tested that, at least with the hand crank. So I'm really glad that I got the hand crank conversion, because I was always quite worried about how much stress I could put on the machine with the electric pedal. The cord is very old, and in fact, if I were to use it electrically again, I would have to take it to some shop to get it recorded, because there's some places where the insulation is coming off. So, with a hand crank, I don't have to worry about that.
That's nice.
Yes. So, what else?
So, the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along of 2021, the Shawlography, I got both of my wedges completed.
Great!
Yeah. So, next is the brioche section, but other one is right behind you.
Behind me. I'm sitting on it.
So, next is this brioche section. So I kind of want to get the blanket done.
Here, let's get it on the right side.
I did. I thought I had it on the right side. I think I did. But yeah, it's the brioche section here is the next one for me. So my thought is, not quite sure, because currently it's very warm. And currently the exterior of my apartment building is being worked on, so our air conditioners are covered up from the outside, so that they do not get brick dust and asbestos in them.
They're doing asbestos abatement.
And removing brick and mortar.
But if you go to Connecticut next weekend, that would be perfect to take with you, because it's chillier.
Yeah. So my thought is if we're thinking about going away for next weekend. So my thought is to bring maybe the blanket and this, and to continue on my stitching, because I picked up my stitching. So this is a free pattern I picked up in 2020 when COVID started, and it's called The Plague Nurse. And a friend of ours is a nurse, and her ward got converted to a COVID ward. And she has a very dark sense of humor and style. And I had confirmed with her about a year ago that this was something that she would enjoy. So I know I've shown you all this before, and all I had was the super dark gray border. I made it kind of this past week a thing to do at least one whole length of thread of one color. And then I got started, like, on the body, and those sleeves were real addictive. Because you got to outline and do some detailing in one color, you can sort of see it, and then you got to fill it all in with a total another color, and I was like, oh, let's fill everything in. So currently I am kind of moving dark to light from about the neck of the nurse down, and the last thing, so currently I'm on, so hold on, so we have the very dark color, we have the red, then we had the outside of the sleeves, and then the inside of the sleeves, and everything else gets lighter from there up to so it's this color, and then it's one more color, and then it's a white. So I have been moving towards the light colors. I will do the white, probably in the same area, and then I'm going to move the entire piece down, and I will complete the upper portion. Yeah, and the date. Her head and the date. I'm really happy that I'm working on this. I'm really happy that I'm getting it done. I know that my friend doesn't care when it gets done, and I appreciate that. I have given myself my own unofficial date of at least by the time of her bridal shower, which I don't even know when it is, but I know she's getting married in December. So I felt like that was a good enough deadline to have. So I figure I can hopefully get this done by mid-June. And we'll see.
That'll be fun.
It's been nice because it's been hot. So warm.
Yeah, but it's going to cool down tonight. We're going to get thunderstorms through, so
yeah,
it will be cooling down. We're coming into summer.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I'm really glad we're getting the boat, because I have a heat problem to begin with, and being out with the boat means I'll be out on the water, which makes it a little cooler, and then with any breeze blowing, it's even cooler still. In fact, I'm bringing my main coat with me when we go to pick up the boat, because when you're offshore, the breeze blowing over the ocean can be quite cool, and I want to be able to stand my watches. I'm so looking forward to this. So calling sail right in the morning.
Yay!
Anything else?
So I tried to whip out a bathing suit for next weekend. So we all know that I've been hoarding specifically Star Wars themed swimsuit fabric, because why the hell not? It's fun, and it's good fabric. Why don't you take your machine
home with you tonight? That way you can finish it for next weekend.
I might, but I also
I'll take we'll leave my thread here. It's the one that's on the sand.
I put it in the drawer already.
Okay. Take your machine home, then you can finish it.
Maybe.
Anyway, show them the picture.
So the swimsuit I'm making is the Valeria. It's a scoop back. It's got a low scoop back as well, and it's long sleeve. And I've really been into the idea of a long sleeve one piece. I have this pattern, and I have the Sea Bright pattern. And I picked this one because it has the least amount of pieces so far. And I have put together the back.
It's so pretty.
Thank you. The only issue I've been having is I'm basting the lining to the main fabric, and the lining is just
hand baste it. Just stop that and hand baste it.
Okay. All I have is the main.
It moves.
Yeah, and I have this left to do. Honestly,
do a quick running stitch, because if the basting snaps, it's fine.
Okay.
You're just doing it to hold it together.
I know, and so I figured as long as I got the shoulders and the down around my tush, I figured those should probably be machine sewn because, I just feel like it should be. But we picked the Rebel symbol on a kind of burgundy with fishnet design. I think it'll look really good.
I mean, you're only basing it to hold it together, right? Until you do the roll or something.
Until I put it all together.
Right. So the hand based it.
Yeah.
The machine is pulling it, and that's why it's not going right.
Yeah. But I think the stretch seam down
the seam is fine because it's material to material.
Yeah, I'm just worried. So, and then when I put it all together, I put the front. So the only so I should take
piece.
No, the crotch is connected to the front.
Oh, the front has a long crotch.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay.
So it's gonna be
goes here, and it's right sides to right sides.
Oh, right. Well, because it's also got the lining, the front lining. So I guess I sew it. Hold on. Let me scroll to the part where it tells me how to put it all together. I mean, it could. So yeah, it goes front to back and back to front lining. Right sides together. So front to back, right sides together, and then back lining is already in here, so lining to lining, front sides together. And then
you pull it inside out like a pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
and then like to like. I mean, lining to lining should behave well.
Okay.
It's just that the lining to the suit, they're different fabrics.
Yeah, they are, but they have the similar stretch.
I'm just saying that's
why it's being finicky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I am going to be putting a shelf in this. It's also noted in the pattern, but I'm also going to add a second layer to it so I can put some removable cups in it, just for additional coverage. So maybe I'll take my machine home. I don't know. I haven't.
Well, you won't finish it otherwise.
I know, but also I could.
You're tired.
I'm tired, and I don't know if I want to stress myself by bringing it.
You'd make the decision.
I know. So. I should probably leave it here because also humping the machine, I can't go directly from my garage right now. I can't go through the side door because of the work they're doing. I have to go around the block.
Oh.
And that's
long. All right.
It's long with it. Thank you for the offer and for reminding me that is an option.
Yes, of course.
But hopefully I will be able to get that done another time soon. I have other swimsuits I can bring. I don't intend on being overly much in the water because it is Connecticut.
The water at Port Washington is 57 degrees.
Yeah. I'm not getting in it.
So
I don't typically get in the water when it's below 70, but
So
I'm a bit of a princess when it comes to that.
They were talking on the radio this weekend about, be careful, don't get sunburned, etc. But also don't think you're going to be going in the water because you can get hypothermic.
Yeah, very
quickly in 57-degree water. So
yeah,
words of wisdom.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at and what we're doing. Lots of crafts happening.
Yes.
As you've probably noticed, when it gets a little bit warmer, we tend to do a bit more sewing.
Well, plus I'm just knitted out.
Yeah, I mean, knocking that blanket out.
I have all kinds of tops and dresses to do, so all my fabric is washed and dried, and I'm ready to go. Now, she's going to clear the table off of her bathing suit. I will be sewing tomorrow.
Do you want me to leave the mat on the table?
No, I don't use the mat.
I just don't want to mar the tabletop.
It's my table. I'm fine.
I get yelled at because it's not my tabletop, so that's why I put down the big self-healing mat.
I've actually been using the mats and sticking the things through them.
You've been using the blocking
mats.
That's another option.
That is another option.
But yeah, I think
I think we're going to weave in those ends.
Because I'm starting to get real tired, and we might be heading on home.
Yes, I think you're right. So
All
anyway,
right.
great to see you all, and we'll be talking to you later.
Bye, y'all.